So, what's the purpose of a bluff? In poker, is to deceive the opponent by betting or raising with a weak hand, making them fold stronger hands. In negotiation, is to create a false sense of strength or resolve to influence the other party's decision. In sports, to fake an action or move to gain an advantage or deceive the opponent. In military strategy, to create a false impression of true strength and intention to deceive the enemy. In everyday life, to assert oneself or create a false impression to achieve a goal or protect oneself. So bluffing is pretty much something that happens all the time. And the way that people bluff you, they bluff you, one, to test your strength, and two, to deceive you that they are more attractive or that they have more resources than you think they do. So as a result, you succumb to them because they're bluffing. And people bluff you generally to test your strength. They bluff you to hide their weaknesses and to make you think that they are more confident, that they have more options, and that they're more willing to walk away than you are. That's the whole point of that, to create an illusion. And we all do it to a certain extent. Some people are more toxic than others. But we're going to talk about how they do that and how you can counteract that and how you can actually reverse it through one strategy that's really powerful. Actually, two strategies I'm going to teach you. And we're going to be watching an example in the animal kingdom of how animals call out bluffs and how you could do it and how animals actually react in a very similar way to humans react. And then towards the end, we're going to be using the book, The 33 Strategies of War, to talk about one strategy, which is called defeating them bite by bite, which is how most people usually manipulate you, how most people usually take away at your self-esteem, and how they use you for self-esteem at your cost. It's going to be really powerful. And the reason why they're testing your strength is because most likely you have sent signs of weakness. They feint at you to see if you will retreat and run. Then they get aggressive and start chasing. It's like an animal, right? It's like a gorilla, right? How they say gorilla charge you to bluff you. Gorilla charge you to intimidate you. But they say that if a gorilla charges you and you don't bluff, and you don't feint, and you don't react to his bluffs, what happens is that you start to see the reality that he's trying to hide. Let me give you guys an example. This is what pretty much people do to you when they assume or when they think you're the one that's putting on a facade. When they sense signs of weakness, this is what people do pretty much.
Charged and charged and charged again. And I think
what they say is that when somebody charges at you with a bluff, what you have to do is do the complete opposite of what your instincts tell you. And that's do nothing. Do nothing. And the reason why doing nothing is the strategy is because when somebody's bluffing you, your lack of reaction reflects to them the truth that they're also bluffing, and reflects to them that most likely you're not reacting because maybe there is something behind you. In other words, maybe you believe that you might have something that backs up your confidence. There's a reason why you're not reacting. There's a reason that you're not over pursuing, because most likely you have that type of confidence. So once they sense that you're not reacting to their bluffs, what happens is that people all of a sudden get passive, right? They either get more aggressive because they don't think that maybe you're faking confidence, or they start acting more passive because they realize it didn't work this time, but now they don't want to lose you, right? Now, why do they do this? Well, first of all, they use deception as a strategy, right? At its core, bluffing is a form of deception aimed at manipulating the perception of others to the bluffer's benefit. It leverages theory of mind, the ability to understand that other people have beliefs, desires, and intentions that are different from one's own. By misrepresenting one's position or intentions, a person can influence the decision and behavior of others in a way that is advantageous to them. Another reason why people bluff is psychological warfare. Bluffing can be used to destabilize opponents or competitors by creating uncertainty and confusion. In a strategic game, sport, business, negotiation, causing others to question their perceptions and strategies can provide a significant psychological edge. So even if they're willing to walk away, you let them walk away, right? Sometimes when people bluff, they become difficult. They yell. They are pushy and demanding, right? They get aggressive. It's like that Russian girl that I told you about who the first few times she would text me screaming, like she was like, "Hey, what the fuck are you?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with this girl?" And I'm like, "What is wrong with her?" And she did it like a few times, and after like the third or fourth time, I was like, "Yo, calm the fuck down. Don't talk to me that way." And she was like, "Oh, my fault. I'm just saying, you know." So she was super aggressive. As soon as I was like, "You know what, man, this girl's out of her goddamn mind. I'm not dealing with this shit." I called her out on it. And what happened then is that she just got more passive. She was like, "Oh, my fault." And I'm like, "Look, man, you talk to me one more time, you leaving." I remember telling her that. I was like, you talk to me like that one more time, you're getting the fuck out, right? I was like, "Don't look miserable." What was it I told her? I was like, "If you act miserable one time, you're going back home." Right? And what she does that because it works, right? She does that because some guys in the past let her get away with the bullshit. You know, they'll test you by being late and seeing whether or not you could tolerate the lateness. They'll test you by calling you names or being disrespectful to see whether or not you're actually going to fight back. Those little things, it's like when dogs eat an animal. It's bite by bite. They don't give one big bite and take a big chunks. No. Little nibbles, one bite here, one bite there. And the problems with those little bites is that usually the disrespect that they initially do, that usually escalates over time, are things that you will rationalize and say it's no big deal. They do it and then they do it again, but it's still not big enough to complain about it, but enough for you to notice, but not big enough for you to call it out. So what they do is that they start to play on your conservative instincts to just say, "You know what? Yeah, but it's no big deal, I guess. I mean, they're nice, you know, that's just dumb." But then once you realize what's going on, once you realize you sort of like tolerated it, it's already too late. It's better to cut it off from the start. Any signs of bickering, any sign of them being difficult, any sign of them sending mixed signals, any sign of them being way too cocky around you, any sign, any glimpse of that, you don't react and you either call it out or you pull away. All right, if you guys enjoy these videos about stoicism, dating, relationships, self-help, moving up in life, I would recommend you guys check out some of my courses that I have for sale. These courses are courses for men and women. For example, Nice Girl, Nice Guy is a course about how to become more assertive. Natural Chemistry is a course for women that I have on how to develop strong relationships. Dark Game is a controversial course that I have for guys on how to attract women in their life and keep it. It's not as dark as it seems, but we do talk about some dark psychology in here. Psychological Game of Attraction is a course that we made for women who are single. And as you see, we have a course about how to develop charisma, emotional mastery, which is a course about how to develop a meditation practice and how to improve your emotional life, to become more resilient, to not let rejection hit you so hard, to be able to bounce back from failure. I have a course called Nice Guy, which is a course for guys who are single and guys who want to be able to develop more assertiveness training, right? Most of these courses come at $99. And there you could also purchase the bundle where you guys can purchase all of the courses in one go at a discounted rate, right? We have a bundle for women and a bundle for men. So click in the description down below to check them out. You could browse around and see the courses that you like. And if you don't like them, you guys can ask for a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I'll give you guys the money back, okay? And in fact, we actually have a new one for women right now we're developing. It's called The Feminine Woman. So if you're a woman watching, this course is specifically to help women become more feminine, to embrace their feminine while embracing their masculine energy. And I'm actually going to make a course for that, like that for men, which is called the Masculine Man, which is a course on how to develop masculinity and develop masculine energy to attract women in your life, to attract business success in your life, to be able to be better socializing, to read people better. It's truly an all-around course. So if you guys want to check out those courses, click on the description down below where it says purchase the courses, and I'll see you guys inside. Bye-bye.